Hello, my manifesting generators. This is going to be a reading for us for the month of February. Let's see what the cards have to say. I have not put together anything related to the transits at this point. I'm just very curious to see what the cards have to tell us about this coming month. So here we go. This is for the month of February of 2026. Hopefully your authority has led you to this reading. And if that's the case, you probably want to listen to it. Now, it's for manifesting generators, whether you are emotional or sacral. I happen to be an emotional manifesting generator. And I hope it will be interesting. So let's give it a try. It's the first time I've done this kind of reading. So here we go. So we'll go with the traditional, just a Celtic cross and see where we get. Okay, so let's let the cards jump out. Well, this one came out first and open, so we'll put it right in the center there. Judgment. Interesting. Now, I know we're supposed to make decisions based on our authority. And I woke up at like 4 in the morning, 4:30, 4:44 actually. And I had this idea. So this is why I'm doing it. I hope it's helpful to as many of you as possible. And if not, well, it'll be helpful for me, I imagine. All right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 3 more. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Ooh, and one more wants to come out. All right, we'll do that. So here we go. This one more I'm going to put as crossing. 2 of Swords. Okay, yeah. All right, well, that's pretty clear, right? We have the Judgment card. So judgment as in decisions, as in following your authority, following your instinct. And also judgment, it can be just judgment in the mind, but mostly since we're doing it for manifesting generators, I believe it's talking about your authority. And then we add the 2 of Swords, which is crossing. So there's going to be some kind of decision that is going to be hard to make. So we have, or at least you might be sitting on that right now. It's a situation where you haven't yet decided. Maybe your authority isn't being very clear, but you're sitting there taking a look at it and trying to decide what to do. On the conscious level, you feel like you're holding your own, right? You're victorious on some level, and you feel like you need to fight your way to get what you want. On the subconscious level, oh look, the Hangman upside down, but I don't read upside down, so we're going to put it back normal. On the subconscious level, you actually are looking at things from a different perspective. So perhaps you've come into human design recently, like I have, or perhaps you are trying to get a different angle, listen to your authority better, but you're finding it that means waiting. Okay, so that means waiting until it's ready, and that can be a bit frustrating. So the 8 of Wands, okay, things moved really fast in the past. Some message, something positive, it's a unicorn, something very unexpected has happened recently to you and to me. That's true for me, and quite quickly. And right now, in the near future, things are looking beautiful for this month. The sun, which means, you know, everything comforting, clear, supportive, etc. Now, if you look, you have the sun here in the judgment card as well, looking over this poor individual mouse who's trying to get an answer, right? So, it's a matter of trust, right? Trusting your authority, trusting that if there's a delay, there's a reason for that delay, but it looks like things are going to become clear quite soon. So let's continue. The moon. All right, I better move this one a little bit. This is a cute little flower from a tree that grows near me. They call it the madroño here in Spain. I think it's a strawberry tree in English. Anyway, it gives berries, but it also gives flowers. 1 year berries, 1 year flowers. So I'm curious why that is, I think that perhaps I picked this intuitively to represent what we're doing here. So if what you've received recently through your authority is something very positive, like fruit, right? So it's a harvest. Well, now what's happening this month is it's preparing for the next year, right? So it's a little bit slower, but you should have clarity on which direction to go in soon. The moon is always about illusion and dreams and beauty and romance, okay? So I don't know that this is a love reading. However, it could be for some of you. But basically, the moon gives us the idea that we are being creative. We are coming up with new solutions, things we haven't done before. Okay. Now, that's not surprising for a manifesting generator. We're always trying to create new things. But in this case, it seems like we'll have a lot of clarity about what direction we want to go on for this month. Okay. So now we're looking at the King of Wands. The King of Wands takes action. So looks like we're going to be taking a lot of action. Now I'm putting these sort of backwards actually, now that I think about it, but I'm going to trust the process. So the King of Wands takes action, and maybe that's not something you've done since this thing happened. You've been sort of taking it easy and sort of trying to find your way, trying to wait and see what to respond to. But once you get the clarity, I don't think it's going to take very long for you to start. And it's probably going to be something creative. The Seven of Cups is all these options that we have. We have so many options right now. Well, we always have so many options. We have a lot of different things that we are exploring and trying to learn, especially if you have in your profile the number 3. You're constantly experimenting. That is the case for me. However, and you have a lot of energy as long as you're enjoying it as a manifesting generator. However, sometimes, the energy can get lost a little bit. You're not quite sure which direction to go in, what cup to select, and how to move forward. This is a very unusual Seven of Cups because we have here the swordfish, and he has collected every single cup. He doesn't have to choose. He's taking them all right? So you may be finding a way to combine all of your interests into one thing. It's sort of giving me the feel right now of combining some of my interests, like in this reading, for example. I'm really interested in human design right now. I've just discovered it about 6 months ago, and I'm really interested in it and experimenting with it. And I thought, why not combine it with my tarot readings? Let's see how that goes and whether it helps anybody. So there we have it. I like to help people. I like to do tarot, and I like human design right now. And if you're a manifesting generator, you know what that means. It may change at any moment. All right, so there we have it. And then we have here the Page of Swords as the last card in this series. The Page of Swords is inspiration, but with the mind. So somehow you're going to be using your mind. Maybe you're going to be writing, or maybe you're going to be leveraging all of this other stuff that you've discovered and this clarity that we have for moving forward in a way that requires your mind to be the tool that it's supposed to be. Once the decision is made, you have action and you have your mind pushing you forward. Okay, it looks quite positive for this coming month. Now let's take a look at some Lenormand cards and see what they tell us to add a little more to it. Okay, this one landed here, so we're going to leave it there. This one, okay, no, let's just try and let them jump and see where they go. Whoa, not that many, darlings. Okay, here we go. So there's a lot related to this, so I'm going to take the one at the very bottom. Okay, and then let me just take a couple more. Here we go. One for here. Oh, look at that. The moon and the moon. So definitely creative, and the star. So definitely related to your interests and your dreams. Okay, so we're definitely in that realm. Here we have the snake with golden egg. You might feel that you need to protect your idea, right? The sun and the moon, which we have here too. Okay, so this is going to be something quite precious. The snake with the golden egg that is a queen for some reason, or a king. I don't know which, because it's a snake. And so we have something really substantial coming up here. Now, I don't know if you're a guy or a woman. If you are a woman, you might find that there is something that a man says to you, your partner, or even somebody you barely know, that will contribute to this clarity that we're going to get in the near future. In relation to the pause here, the taking time, and the trying to look at things from a different perspective, waiting for your authority to be clear, it looks like the reason it's taken a little while is because this has to do with your health, with your vitality. Maybe you just needed a rest after this huge obstacle was overcome, right? This huge change took place and you felt like you were sort of hitting the top of the mountain briefly, one of those, unexpected gifts that come along once in a while. But now that you've rested, come next month, you're going to feel a lot more generative. So see with the bunnies, you're going to feel like you have the energy. You have a bunch of birds there, which kind of aligns with the whole idea of so many projects and thoughts. But most importantly, you're going to have the clarity, and then you were going to know in which way you want to move. So let's do last three cards to see if there's anything more that we need to know. Well, we got two. Here's a third one, it seems. Okay, let's go for it. Queen of Pentacles, the King of Swords, and Death. Now, if you know tarot, you know that death has nothing to do with, well, rarely means death. Almost never. However, I don't know if you are a tarot reader, or a person that's familiar with tarot, my apologies, but see, because you might just be somebody who's interested in human design. So I'll mention that just so no one freaks out. We have a really interesting combination here. The Queen of Pentacles which has to do with abundance, generosity, really knowing the value, what's valuable to you, and leaning into that, right? Into what's important to you. The Queen of Pentacles is often said to be like the baby or the the mini empress, right? So she attracts things to her. She is very feminine energy. She is doesn't really need to work very hard because she knows exactly what she values. Okay, the King of Swords has to do with mental structure, very male energy, right? Very idea focused, very conceptual, all right? And then we have death, which is generally about transformation, becoming something different, or the death of one type of life in favor of another. Or the death of one type of identity in favor of another. This particular death doesn't look particularly gloomy. He's moving forward towards the future. He's got flowers all around. Wherever he walks, there are flowers, right? And when you look at them, the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Swords and this, I mean, we could read it that you're shifting from mostly feminine energy to mostly masculine energy in this coming month. And there may be some of that because we're talking about so much action, right? And that means forging forward, which is much more of a masculine energy. And the Queen of Pentacles is much more of a receiving, responding energy, right? So you're moving from responding to acting, from generator to manifester, it looks like at the moment, because you have the clarity that has come through. And this clarity is going to give you a lot of direction, but also beauty, right? There's going to be beauty related to this. It's like you're going to bloom into something different. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to stay in your masculine energy. I think these two cards are equal in power and just very different in style. So chances are there'll be more masculine energy this month. Next month. Current month has been all about waiting and waiting to respond and getting the right message and getting clarity. But come next month, and right now I'm recording this January of 2026, so we're talking about February, you will feel that you're ready to shift into more masculine energy and start taking action, right? Now, that doesn't mean every month is going to be like that, and it doesn't mean it's a permanent transformation. It just means that at this point, you're going to have that power to move forward, the power that comes to us always when we know what we want to do and it's something that delights us, right? So you could very well have a huge impact in the next month. Now, this is a timeless reading, so although I'm recording it in January 2026 and it's for February, if your authority has brought you here in another month, we'll just consider it as for next month, whatever that next month of yours is when you arrive, okay? Because I think that it can very well be appropriate for you whenever you show up. So that's it, my dear manifesting generators. That's what we're looking at for next month. I'm very excited. I hope you are too. If you like this reading, please give me a thumbs up or subscribe. I will be doing more of these for every type, HD type, moving forward. This is my first attempt But I started with manifesting generators well because I am one, and therefore I know a little more about us than I do about the other types. But I'm working on it. I'm doing a course, and I think it's going to be great. Regardless, it doesn't really matter because it's a tarot reading. I'm not giving you details about human design, so I don't need to be an expert. It was just an idea. And I hope you liked it. I hope it's useful. And I look forward to hearing any comments that you might have. I would be really grateful for any advice if you think that I could make this better in some way. All right. Thank you so much. Take care. Have a great month. Bye-bye.